Flow State Jedis, what is good? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Sumedh Chatterjee from the Flow Zone Academy. I'm a flow state specialist and catalyst to help you feel your best and perform your best. Shout out to the frogs back there, okay, in that swamp. Clearly it rained, okay, so the frogs are over here. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. And welcome to the channel. I hope you're doing well. Let's talk today about a few questions. I got a few FAQs to answer. And yeah, it should be interesting. So let's tap right in. Let's dive right in. The first question I got about understanding Taoism. I'm a bit confused about Taoism. Could you give me your explanation for it? So simplified, right? So let me explain this to like a fifth grader or something, even though kids can't watch this channel. You got to be 18 and older. But I'm going to simplify it to the best of my possibility. Taoism, okay, is related to the Tao. What is the Tao? The Tao is this invisible, unchangeable, nameless, unformed substance, this aspect. It's almost like in Hinduism, you'd call it Brahman, right? It is that. Now, there's a lot of aspects of Taoism, we can't get into all of them, okay? Wu-Wei, the action of non-action, which is relevant to the flow state. The I Ching, which is a form of divination. It's quite interesting because it shows two lines, right? The yin is like this broken, yielding line, and the yang is like one unbroken, sharp line, right? It's basically going off of Bruce Lee's idea, okay? Empty your mind, be formless, okay? Shapeless. That is the Tao. What he's talking about is the Tao. His philosophy comes from Taoism, okay? The idea of you have to empty your cup. This idea of complementary unity within polarity, right? There's this dualism, but then there's this dance that happens between the yin and the yang. Everything in the universe can boil down to these two essences, right? One is more so yielding and one is more so conquering. And the idea of Wu-Wei is we must yield in order to conquer, right? It's like being in the S-curve almost of the yin-yang. I'm already making this hella complicated. Hold on, let me simplify it. Without an empty space, a cup cannot be filled. You see? Think of the Tao as a path, a way, a guiding principle towards life, where you actually let go and let God. They believe that intense striving for something actually leads you to more stress and discomfort. But Taoists believe that if you tune yourself to the rhythm of life, you learn from nature, you learn from life, you can start to change your life for the better. Your life just becomes exponentially greater, right? That's their belief. They also speak a lot about qi and, you know, the ideas of qi in Chinese medicine, martial arts, you know, creativity. Qi is all encompassing and helps in all of these different aspects, right? In Hinduism, we'd call it prana, right? Same idea or concept. It's that life force energy, okay? So these are some basic concepts of Taoism. Look up the book Simple Taoism. Just today, actually, I read a book called Simple Taoism. So very, very powerful book, okay? There, actually, I found out that Lao Tzu was born with long earlobes like me and white hair, okay? So maybe I'm Lao Tzu, I don't know. They say that when Lao Tzu was born as a baby, he's born with a grown man, like clearly like how Krishna was grown up already, right? There's no baby version of him. Just kind of immaculate conception or whatever, right? Old man came from a plum tree or something. His original name was like Lao Yi or something like that, right? It wasn't even Lao Tzu. Lao Tzu just means old master, right? Yeah, let's go off of this topic, but yeah, do your own research in Taoism, of course. Just to simplify it, it's just about allowing yourself to feel into this invisible substrate of reality that's called the Tao, okay? And we're calling it the Tao, however, it really has no name, okay? It's just a way, it's a movement, it's a momentum, it's something where you allow yourself to trust in that invisible flow of life. That's what Taoism is talking about, okay? So Scripps, what is your current morning routine? My morning routine used to be wake up, you know, stretch a bit, breath work, meditation, cold shower, come back, read, journal, you know. So it used to be so many things, okay? My morning routine used to be so strategic and so many things clustered into one. And as I started adapting it more and more and more, I started to understand that, the best morning routine for me is I get up, I drink some warm water on an empty stomach, do any kind of movement, okay? It doesn't have to be something extravagant or bizarre. It's just any kind of movement that I'm feeling like doing. Usually freestyle dance is a great way to start off my day because it's very high vibrational, right? And it's very cathartic, you could say. Like the emotions are let go of, the negative emotions at least. I've noticed that if you just immediately start working right after you wake up, your flow state is more active. A lot of people are like pussyfooting around, kind of wishy-washy, like kind of, skirting over the edges. Let me do this, a little bit of that, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. It's like, get up in the morning and just, boom, work mode. Okay? Try that out. Try that out really. Like, if you have some project or something due, try just going right into it when you wake up. Right into it. Okay? A lot of people, they'll keep meditation in the morning, and this stuff is great. Okay? I meditate every day, but not necessarily in the morning time. However, because I tend to believe that, in the morning time, especially if I meditate, I'm gonna go to sleep. So sometimes if I do meditate in the morning, I'll keep my eyes open very slightly, or I'll turn on the lights, or, I'll do it maybe in the sunlight. I'll find different ways to kind of counteract that kind of feeling, right? Yeah, this is much better. So yeah, man, that's my advice about morning routine. Next we have, how do you feel about the way you've evolved and changed over the years? I become way less of a people pleaser and a beta male. That's one thing. I'm not really a nice guy anymore. Like, I don't resonate with that term. I think a lot of people, they're fake nice, you know what I mean? And I used to be like that. I used to just try to do things to fit in, get approval, But hey, man, that stuff is only gonna help you so far, you know what I mean? It's just like, you gotta be authentic, you gotta be real. So I think over the years, I've just been chipping away at this, becoming more and more myself, right? But also more of myself that I actually prefer to be, right? Not like it was imposed upon me. Because a lot of people, they try to impose their will on you, right? They'll be like, oh, do exactly this, do exactly that, do exactly this. And then you'll get the money, then you'll get the babes, then you'll get the, It's like, you have your own intrinsic, internal flow state code. You have a code. And I've been forming that code over the years. I've been integrating like a spider's web, just like trapping all the things that I'm interested in that web, and then just accumulating it, right? Using a Jeet Kune Do approach of spirituality. The evolution is endless at this point, okay? I can't really measure it, but you can measure it using my results. The only way you can measure this is by measuring my results in my life, okay? Just look at it, okay? Just notice it, right? Just look at it, just observe it. What's really going on, right? You can observe it yourself. Okay, so this question says, when do you know it's time to give up on a romantic relationship? It's more so a feeling of stagnation. There's no growth. There's no growth because there's no choices being made. You see? There's no creation mode. You see, what happens is in a lot of relationships, we start off being these kind of fake people, right? Trying to impress the other person, trying to go out of our way to do all of these things and appear cool and appear, unique, and, get them gifts. And we put all in the beginning of a relationship, but then it dies down. We get bored, we get tired, we get complacent, we get unmindful, we get unconscious, right? And that's when that honeymoon effect wears off, right? Eventually over time, and that's where you start to share each other's shadows and so forth. So I would say, this is the easiest way to answer it, is that the amount of red flags are overriding the green flags. That's when a relationship should end. Also, when you recognize that there's disrespect on the other side, and there's just some value of yours that's been crossed, like some kind of infidelity, or like some kind of you know, you can try. I mean, of course, once you're in love, you can try. Like, let's say you're dating an addict, you can try as much as you can to try to get them to be sober and, like, you know, look after them. But again, that ain't your job, bro. It ain't your job to, like, father someone or mommy somebody, right? It's like, it could be if you have a child, right? That's a different story. But I would say for a relationship, though, you gotta just know when it doesn't resonate. Right? It's just a feeling. It's just that you will feel it. Everybody who's kind of on the brink of a relationship dying out, you kind of know it. But sometimes you got to take chances and, like, go and see maybe a relationship counselor like myself, you know, or somebody else who can help you, who can give you much more, you know, clarity on this thing, rather than just kind of ending it the first sign of any terror or threat, or, you know. That's the thing in a lot of this generation. It's just like, yeah, I'll just move on. I'll just swipe on another hoe, you know? And we don't gain that, like, long-term commitment type of thing, right? The answer is you'll know, bro. You'll know when it is. And don't overthink it. If you feel like it's the right move to just end it, be swift about it, be respectful about it. And, you know, just keep it organic, man. Of course, I don't see any problem being a friend, but then again, there's no such thing as being friends with your ex, bro. Really though? Really though? Really? Is there really such thing as being friends with your ex though? Right? If you're not attracted to each other anymore, I get it. But then there's still something there, right? It's like, I don't know. It's like history tends to repeat itself. Let's just say that. I tend to stay away from my exes. I don't know. That might change in the future. Who knows? I don't know. So yeah, that's my answer for that. Next is Yosumde. You spell my name wrong, bro. Okay, Sumde, what's your best advice for Sumed, by the way? What's your best advice for mastering stoicism in stressful life situations? Good question, man. Of course, you can go with the idea of just, like, you know, everybody will tell you this around stoicism, like, focus on what you can control, not on what you can't, right? I would say focus on these two concepts, bro. Ataraxian and apatheia. Ataraxia is a freedom from disturbance, and apatheia is like freedom from strong emotionality. You get what I mean? Like strong, oversensitive emotions. Just like, you know, we must question our animalistic impulse to perceive everything. And I'll tell you, these two, they're like two muscles that you just gotta work on, right? My advice is to bring your own flavor into each situation. That's one way to deal with the stress. Of course, you can always, you know, calm your nerves through different ways. There's different grounding techniques for that. But the main thing to understand here is what Seneca said. A good person dyes his events with his own color and turns whatever happens to his benefit. Okay, this is another way of saying everything serves the flow. Everything serves the Tao. Everything serves the seduction. Everything serves my life. Everything serves my purpose. You get it? You're finding the opportunity, whereas most people aren't. That's what's gonna help you with the stress. Okay, bro? Now, of course, there's other Stoic measures to do this. I'd highly recommend you get the Stoic reading of, you know, The Art of Living. I recommend that to most, if not all, of my clients, okay? For mental toughness, just to read it each morning, get yourself that Stoic mindset, bro, because that is really gonna sharpen you. Gonna make you like a buzz saw, right? That can just cut through any noise and nonsense that this modern world is giving you. Next question, I have a debut competition at the end of this year. Do you have any advice or pointers I should take into consideration? Yes. Number one, don't look at it like you're trying to win or compete somebody or, you know, win a tournament. Go into it with the mindset of improvement, number one. Number two, go in with the mindset of playfulness, okay? When you're competing, you want to focus on making it fun for you, right? So you can compete. It's not like, if you make a competition very, very severe and serious, you're gonna get trapped by the dogma of the competition and the bureaucracy and all the different things. It's like, you kind of want to do your own thing there, right? It depends what kind of competition is it, right? Like, it really depends. Like, are you competing in chess? Are you competing in martial arts? Are you competing in basketball? It depends on what style of competition, but make sure if you're in a team, everyone has an equal skill and participation level. Don't let a team member give it only like 20% where the whole team is giving it like 80% of their effort, right? There's gonna be certain people that want to be bystanders, right? You got to really deal with that, because that's liability, bro. You know what I mean? To win any competition, people who are kind of like holding you back, or like not really refining their edge, you know what I mean? That's problematic in terms of the flow state. So that's what I'd say in terms of that. Again, these are just like quick responses. If you have any more questions, or if you want to ask me for advice, or coaching, or healing, especially, I'm very attuned, I'm very intuitive, so I also help people with a lot of chakra work, archetype work, releasing somatic past trauma from their body using acupressure, and just I also know Kundalini body work. I'm trained in Kundalini body work. Yeah, I have a lot of stuff that I've learned and that I do. However, yeah, I've got to personalize it to every person. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm not going to share those techniques with somebody who's an atheist, who doesn't believe in, working with the source energy or something like that. So, okay, back to the question and answer. So, how do I respond to my wife when she's mocking me for practicing spirituality? Maybe she doesn't get it. Maybe she just doesn't get it, man. So I'd get you to explain to her your perspective, your point of view, to the best of your ability. First of all, she shouldn't be mocking you, bro. You know what I mean? Like, that's disrespectful. Any relationship. That means she's taken the masculine polarity in her hands, okay? We learned from Master Shambhu, who I'm gonna channel today. He's one of my Heyoka spirits that I work with. Well, recently discovered him, right? Just like last night. So he was giving this incredible description of, like, as a man, you have to be like the shell and the woman is like a pearl, right? You're not trapping her in that shell, right? It's a protective shell. It's supposed to make her feel safe and grow and shine in her feminine radiance, like that pearl, needs that shell to shine and keep it safe. But if you take that shell away, she's gonna get rigid, she's gonna get, attacky. She's gonna take on the masculine principle, basically. She's gonna be the yang. And you will slowly become more and more yin. You'll become more beta, you'll become more, inwards, become more shy, whereas she will be the domineering one, right? She'll be the leader in the relationship. She wears the pants and she'll move forward. Bro, don't get mocked for your beliefs. That's messed up. You know what I mean? Like, stand up for yourself, have a strong backbone, convince her as best as you can, okay? Look, these are my beliefs. I'm not shutting down yours, okay? I'll listen to you. Let's clear up any misconceptions that we have with each other. Because clearly, you're making fun of me for this when it's something very special to me that I deeply value, right? And so that's how you have to handle, like, I don't let anybody fuck with my spirituality. You get it? Like, that's when I know that, look, I gotta protect myself first and foremost, but also I gotta play at the offense at times too, She mocks you, you mock her back, so what? Whatever. That's a weird relationship with a wife, though. I don't know. Maybe that can work. I don't know. It's just, in my context, it wouldn't, You would need somebody woke enough to understand the concepts that you're talking about, or at least give you the respect enough to not mock you about it, just open up about it and so forth. So, I mean, does she have a lot of green flags, in the relationship other than that? If so, then that's something to work on, okay? But use the word mocking, by the way, so I want you to make a note of that, okay? Use the word mocking. So that means there's some inherent or underlying disrespect in this relationship, right? Yeah, man. Next, why do I feel so much pressure with my sleep cycle? Maybe it's something you were conditioned into. It could be that, in college, your sleep cycle was trained in a very specific way, right? Like when we're in college, no one has a good sleep cycle, bro, in university or PhD, whatever, Nobody. I don't think a single person does, in fact, who's doing some big thing, right? An amazing sleep cycle. It's rare to get 8 hours of sleep nowadays, right? I'm speaking for me personally because I'm mostly a night owl. Like, I stay up at night quite late. That's why my wake up time is like 8:30. So the sleep cycle is connected to the flow cycle, okay? So maybe you're too much in struggle phase, or you're just in the flow so much, or you're just letting go, and you're not getting that delta wave, that rest, right? The rest phase is really, really key for sleep, okay? But that means you're not producing maybe enough oxytocin in your body. So try to listen to some oxytocin sound files. That could definitely help. And delta waves would also help. Listening to rain noises. Just, I have a sleep protocol. If you just work with me, just, I'll give you that sleep protocol. It'll just be easy. Just easy, easy, easy. There's also a great subliminal. Yeah, man. So don't worry so much about... I'm just stretching a little bit. Hold on. Man, I love doing this. Someone asked me about what's my favorite recent exercise. I love doing this red breath. I imagine I'm inhaling this warm red breath. So every time I inhale, I also feel that warmth, and it warms up all my organs. And then when I exhale, it just kind of relieves it out. Powerful. It's a powerful practice. You should definitely check it out. But yeah, man, don't worry so much about the sleep cycle thing. There's lots of geniuses and inventors and people all across the world that have different sleep cycles, bro. You get it? Some people wake up at 4 a.m. Some people wake up at, past the afternoon. It depends on you, bro. It really depends on you. Don't let society, give you some kind of strange framework for you. I mean, of course, there's benefits in waking up at the golden hour and so forth. However, just don't overburden yourself with it. Get as much sleep as you can. Take power naps. Listen to this thing called hypersleep, which lets you function with less sleep. That's a secret, by the way. Don't go sharing that around, because that's a part of our adepts program. We recently discovered that. If you're joining the adepts program, by the way, $99 a month, okay? Just sign up. I'll give you a lot of advice. Every day you're going to be getting something at least. And all my new epiphanies, new insights, I'm going to be sharing on that particular path working, okay? All right, let's see here. Next question. What is your greatest fear, and how do you contend with it? My greatest fear is the fear of falling apart. And I contend with it by understanding that I'm not fragmenting. I'm actually creating more reach, okay? That's how I contend with it. Is I understand that if I'm actually splitting in my mind and going into various directions when I feel scattered, I understand I'm at the energy of a light bulb. But the same energy in a light bulb is in a laser beam. One is more scattered, one is more focused. So I just gotta refocus. You get it? Like, when I feel that fear, I know it's not real. That fear is an illusion. Right? That fear is an illusion, because everything is one. There is only oneness. How can I be falling apart when everything is one? You get it? It's like questioning the belief, questioning the fear, right? Another one of my big fears, which is related to my core wound, is not fitting in. But then again, man, I've realized this in my life, at least. It's much more fulfilling to stand out. I'm just gonna say that. It is so much more fulfilling to just stand out, rather than try to fit in and use all these different social scenarios and shit. Fuck all that, bro. Really, though. Why are you doing that to yourself? You get it? That's my greatest fear. And also, I'm not afraid of my enemies knowing this, by the way. I'm not afraid of my enemies at all. Let's go, you fucking weakling wizards. The savage shaman will dominate you. Just know that. What is your opinion? There's a scientist in history that used to be afraid to step on his floor because he knew about quarks. What? That's dumb, bro. Why are you sharing that with me? That's not even a question. I can't answer that, bro. I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, he's afraid of quarks. Okay, so what? He played like the floor is lava or what? All right, bro, I'm gonna end it here, okay, with this last question. With the years of information and knowledge you've gained since first starting YouTube, what's one of the biggest differences you've seen yourself that perhaps the audience wouldn't? My spiritual and mental revelations, bro. I don't think people can sense those things. And yeah, those things, you know, they manifest as a byproduct of me just sharing and whatever, and you're getting a sense in these videos, but really though, it's like, it's a whole process by itself, right? You know, I got a recent question as well from Navneil. He was asking, he's a little bit confused about, you know, the whole archetype process. Like, how are we supposed to step into this archetype, right? Let me tell you how this hair thing happened, okay, bro? Maybe that'll explain it. So basically what I did some shadow work into the fear of falling apart. And I realized the character Hansel in Zoolander, okay, was an answer to that problem, to that fear. So I would get you to explore your greatest fear, the greatest fear which was asked today, right? What is your greatest fear and how do you contend with it? You contend with it by becoming that version of you that does not have that problem anymore. You get it? So if you're struggling with, let's say, your finances, you need to become the man whose finances aren't a problem. You get what I mean? Like, who is that character? Is it Glengarry Ross? Is it like the Wolf of Wall Street? Is it like, I don't know, like, you know, is it Richard Branson? There's so many different types of wealth archetypes across the planet, bro. You know what I mean? Like, you don't only need to go towards one and not the other, you know? And again, you can play it very wise, like you can take a little bit from this, a little bit from that, but it's good to focus on one archetype shift, okay? And these shifts happen very organically. You can't really pre-plan them, like, I'm gonna be this archetype. You can make it monthly, you can make it weekly, okay? You can make a design or a formula for yourself. But it's gonna take a little bit to just, you know, like you said, it's like learning how to swim. You're gonna test the waters and tools and different techniques. Just try them out, you know, and practice embodying into that reality. What we did is something called the Rykov technique, okay? If you're unfamiliar with the Rykov technique, you can type in Rykov into my YouTube channel. You'll find one, a guided one for that. If you want the actual file, just message me and, you know, I'll give you the MP3 file. Just because I want people to transform with this. This is a big program, right? The Rykov method is no joke, right? The Rykov method is no joke. I gotta give credit where credit is due. That man is an absolute genius, how he thought of that visualization, right? That hypnosis technique just embodies you completely into that, because you stop caring, man. You get what I mean? You stop being a Karen. You stop caring. Man, I just realized I can make this into like a bioenergetic stool or whatever, you know? All right, muchachos and chicas, Flow Jedis, Master Makara signing out. Enjoy it today. Let me know if you have any other questions on these questions. And may we never be the same again. Us, stay legendary, boys and gals. Boom.